Am I a scam? Well, in my opinion, no. But I completely understand where you're coming from. You're probably thinking this guy is selling financial freedom. Scam, right? Which we all would think. So I kind of wanted to start off by introducing myself. My name's Azam. Right, I made a couple of videos kind of telling you my journey from zero, being fired from my job, really being directionless, not really knowing what to do in life. Because when you get fired from a job and when you're from an ethnic background, it is a very shameful thing. And obviously, like as a man, when you lose purpose and you don't know what to do, then it starts to affect you up here as well. So what I wanted to kind of say is, yeah, I do help Muslim brothers and sisters get from zero to actually making 7 to 10 thousand a month within the next 90 days. And I know it can seem too good to be true, but it's only because of the experience I have. I've taken businesses from zero to 55,000 a month, zero to 81,000 a month, 8,000 to 100,000 a month, and similar with mine. I've literally showed you screenshots if you check my profile, literally of my bank account. So I have nothing to hide, not really keeping any information to myself, literally showing you my bank account that if I'm teaching someone something, I have done it myself over and over again. Um, I'm basically reading off the points that I've written so that I wanted to address into this video. So my experience is, like I mentioned, it's in the high ticket industry. So a high ticket is anything 2,000 or above, like selling packages that are 2,000 or above. So I've closed 20,000 deals, 30,000 deals. I've done this over and over again, helped many businesses. Now I'm kind of transitioning over to beginners, and I've helped a couple of beginners go from zero to, let's say, 5 to 7 or even 10,000 a month. And you can check that on my story highlights on my Instagram. So my goals, what are my intentions? So I was in the B2B market, like working with solely businesses, but I thought to myself, okay, let's do something related to this, and do something which will give me more fulfillment, right? So I transitioned over to more the B2C market, as in me being a business and helping specific individuals, where I help them literally change their lives like I had, right? So I specifically picked Muslims because again, I know like certain individuals how much they were struggling, including myself, how much I was struggling back then. Because there's this core desires that humans have, like status, power, freedom, security, which again sometimes get taken away from you, and then it really gives you a shock, like what the hell just happened, right? I thought the job was going to give me security. I thought like everything was going to be fine once I had that job security, income stability, right? But inflation, rising living costs, all these things, responsibilities that comes when you grow your family, etc., like that, like things get very difficult. So it's always very good to have something on the side, which is some sort of a passive income stream. We all know that. So my goals with like my personal goals, why I do this, why I even do business, right? So my number one goal is orphans, right? So I've been fortunate enough to live in a pretty good environment, as in like money wise. So I've always been told help people who can't help themselves, because having money isn't really that fulfilling. Help people who can't help themselves. So the first thing that came into my head was orphans. So orphans, especially in third world countries, cannot help themselves. Like we all know that how much they are struggling, like with food, water, just general things that we all need as humans, especially having no father figure, no mother. So that's where a lot of my, you know, donations go to, as orphans. That's the number one thing. Then it's, if you know me personally, I look after my local mosque. Like it's a 2 to 3 thousand people community, organizing the Jummas, the Eids, youth clubs for the kids to come around and have a good community around them and be someone where like I'm not doing anything haram and you can look up to me and you don't have to be like so serious about everything. That's the perception I had. So I'm kind of wanting to become a good example for these kids around the community. And lastly, the third one is I want to help 1,000 Muslim brothers and sisters go from a 9 to 5, really desiring more money and more freedom and more time to actually practice Islam and learn in the best way possible. And I want to help 1,000 people go from zero to 7 to 10,000 a month. So that's my vision. That's a mission, vision, and values that I have currently. Now, answering the question, am I a scammer? Well, in my opinion, no. But again, you have your own judgment. If you really feel like I'm a scammer, it's fine. You can click off the video. But if you're still interested, I'll kind of tell you what is exactly that I do and how I exactly help people. So if I was a scammer, I would not be around as long as I have. If I was, because in the internet, people get called out, even if they're lying, even if they haven't even worked with you, right? So that's highly possible. It hasn't happened. And just to clarify, I don't have any courses. There's no long videos because again, when I got fired from a job, I had to like spend so much money, like trying out different courses, mentors, programs, like trading, MLM, all that stuff. I've tried it. All that stuff I've tried it, and the only thing that actually worked was the digital marketing agency, right? The agency space, the high ticket space, right? So coming to average salaries in the UK, US, Canada. Now, for the UK, I'm pretty sure it's around 25 to 30,000 pounds a year. You can do the same kind of calculation with currency exchange rates to be in the US or Canada, unless I'm wrong. But that's around the frame where the average salaries are. So that's what most people are earning in today's time with the inflation and rising living costs, etc. So people want to make more money. People want the time and financial freedom. People want that security. But knowing that that is exceptional, like 7 to 10,000 a month is exceptional results, exceptional type of money, while average salaries are 25,000 to 30,000 a year. You need to realize that to get the exceptional results of 7 to 10,000 a month or in passive income, whatever it is that you want, you have to do exceptional results. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that you have to tie the camel first, then rely on Allah. As in, do the actions that it takes, then rely on Allah. And the biggest thing that I've learned in the past couple of years is my mentors have always taught me to understand how the human brain thinks and how we actually operate, which will allow you to be more kind of aware of your own behaviors and thoughts and feelings and how it's impacting your life. Right? What a lot of humans do is because they had bad experiences in the past, what they do is project it onto the future, which then stops them from actually taking action right now. So it's like basically a repeat of their life over and over again, year after year. So nothing actually changes because you're not taking any different actions. Everything in life is cause and effect. You do a certain action and you get a certain result. Right? And one thing my mentors taught me is just letting you know, I'm not a science guy, nothing. I'm just telling you what I've learned from them, and it has proven to be true. That there is a part in your brain called the reticular activating system. Right? I'm not going to go too deep into the sciencey stuff, but I'll tell you what it does. So it's basically in charge of filtering through the information that you receive, right? Because there's so much in this modern world. There's so much noise, and for you, like if you were to take in everything and like analyze everything, you'd go crazy. So what your brain does is it generalizes things, deletes things, and distorts things. As in, like you've heard all your life and you've seen stories of people getting scammed and all that stuff. You have to define what is being scammed, right? Like, are you afraid of like someone taking your money and then running away? Are you afraid of them selling you something that's not true? Like, because what happens is whenever you see, let's say, someone's trying to help you make more money or whatever, you instantly just generalize it. Okay, scam. You shut off any like room for like you get to know what the hell it is. What is this person trying to do, right? So I would encourage you to kind of be aware. Are you doing that? Are you generalizing or without actually having an open mind of what this is, how this actually works? And you have to really realize that this really does hold people back, is because when you generalize things like making any other money than my 9 to 5, passive income, all that stuff is not realistic. It's a scam. It's like it's too good to be true. What it does is you're not doing actions. You're not going to take a chance. You're not going to do it, and you're going to continue to have the same results, right? And the biggest thing that I'm scared of in my life is remorse. I don't want to go through this life that Allah's blessed me with, and like have it in my head. Well, I knew it was possible. I knew 7 to 10,000 a month in passive income was possible, but I just thought everything was a scam. I just never actually took a shot. And like that's what I've personally spoken to and coached thousands of people, right? And it was always the thing that I noticed about the unsuccessful people is that they just did not take the actions because they had these perceptions, they had these paradigms that just stopped them from ever doing anything different, right? So you do the same actions, you get the same result. So if you truly do want different results, like keep an open mind. If something makes sense, if you have the right feeling, why not, right? So just to end off that point is it really does leave you missing out on opportunities constantly. In the past, like let's say, even if you're 25, 30, you've probably missed out on hundreds and thousands of opportunities. Let's take Bitcoin as an example. 2012, when like it might have come out, like I personally didn't know about it then, but if the people did find out about it, they were like, nah, it's a scam, too good to be true. And the people that actually had an open mind and did invest in it, look what's happening to them now. So just don't miss out on opportunities. If keep an open mind, don't let the reticular activating system or your own way of thinking hold you back and do self-sabotage. Now, again, coming back to, I don't have courses, I don't have long videos, none of that works. I've spent more than 30,000. Some of it has been wasted because it was just long videos that I didn't have any personal help. That's why I'm doing the complete opposite, right? Because I want to help 1,000 people. I know for that I need to pick specific people, and I'll show you my calendar. So this is the amount. On a daily basis, I speak to around 5 to 6 people, 6 days a week, right? And what I do is basically look for people that I feel I can work with on a one-to-one basis. Apologies if you hear any sounds. I'm getting my house extended. That's why I'm up in the attic. So inshallah it's going to be worth it. But please ignore any sounds. So yeah, I speak to 4 to 5 people every single day, and I find out whether like their goals, their current situation, their current 9 to 5 situation, their current mental health, like way of thinking is even like possible that to get them from 0 to 7 to 10,000 a month. Not everyone can, and I'll be honest, not everyone can. It's not for everyone. Right, that's why I have these one-to-one free consultations where I get to know you on a personal level and see if I can even help you get to your goal. So again, there's no courses, it's personal one-to-one support. That's why I'm very careful, because otherwise if I take you on, if my sole goal was just to sell you something, then it's just a headache for me to even deliver you the results. So I'd rather not take anyone like that. So I'll give you a program overview of what exactly it is that I actually do and how exactly I help people get the results that I promise. So in 90 days, what I do is I take people from zero, not really knowing anything about business and the way I've designed things, because you do something over and over again with enough repetitions, you get to know if something works or not. So I have divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 is getting momentum. So again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not what I'm trying to show. Like, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to put, let's say, 45 minutes of work 5 days a week, at least for the first month and a half. And then after that, we start automating things, because again, at the end, the goal is to make it passive. So I'm not sure if you can see, but phase 1, step 1 would be how to think like a business owner, right? I'll teach you how to think like a business owner. Step 2 is, again, because we're starting a marketing agency, we're going to get clear on the who. Let's say, example, construction companies. What problem are we solving? Like, let's say, what are we doing for them? Get 15 new clients for them, right? How? Let's say, how are we going to do that for them? Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads. Once we picked one, like Facebook ads, the how, then we're going to move on to step 3 within phase 1, which is getting a media buyer. A media buyer is someone in a third world country, right, who has the skills of, let's say, Facebook ads, but they don't have good communication. And with high ticket sales or selling anything 2,000 or above, what you need to have is certainty that this person can actually give me the results. So the construction companies will need to have certainty, which you will give with your communication, because you live in the UK, US, Canada, where you're going to close people there and then delegate the work off to media buyers. This is just a simple overview. Obviously, there is more to it. That's why I exist. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 would be getting your first client. So that would happen through my LinkedIn automation funnel, which I've designed to kind of surpass the limits of LinkedIn, right? And we're basically going to be showing our no-brainer offer, our services to hundreds of people every single day. And all we need to do is find 2 to 4 people to work with us. Do you think that's impossible? If it's on an automated basis, trying to find those people, right? I have a system, I have a referral system, where I've kind of made a deal with someone where they give me this thing that they've designed, which is not available because again, LinkedIn doesn't allow it. But anyway, we are reaching out to hundreds of people to only find 2 to 4 people. Do you really think that's impossible? And what I'm going to give you is my Catalyst sales syntax, which I've used to close $20,000 deals, $30,000 deals, to just get 2 to 4 clients that pay you $2,000 a month, which is highly possible. I know you're like, I don't have any experience. What am I going to do? What am I going to sell? All that. That's what I'm here for. That's why I give people 24/7 message support, one-to-one personal help for the next 90 days. And the guarantee is if you don't at least hit one $7,000 a month, you get the whole sum back. So there's nothing really to lose. So phase three is the 3 subsections of this whole business model. We start to automate that one thing at a time. And by the end of 90 days, everything needs to be automated. Seriously, people are running multiple 6-figure agencies without even putting any focus onto it because everything is systemized and all you need to know is the systems to do so. So kind of ending this off and saying, again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to be ready mentally, right? I need to know if you're the right person to even do this, right? Now, like I mentioned before, life does really change when you take risks. Like you really make yourself vulnerable. Well, I don't know how to say this, vulnerable. When you have reasonable certainty that this thing can work, it makes sense, you have the right feeling, right? So the way I differentiate myself and to prove to people that I'm really here to help you is you pay me, you pay my tuition fees for my systems and my guidance and my help for the next 90 days, my time. You pay me when I make you money, right? So we're kind of having that deal where you pay me and I trust you that once you do make money, you will pay me. But for me to be confident, because a lot of people do this, I'm going to be honest, like I've spoken to many, many, many people and I do that every single day. There's a lot of this going on and no actions. So I do need some sort of commitment that, okay, from the total price that I charge, I will do this much upfront to know, okay, yeah, I can give you my resources, I can give you my time, and I can give you my support to know you are a serious person. So if you're ready mentally, and you know you can spare at least 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week to really change your life, inshallah, to get to 7,000 to 10,000 a month within the next 90 days, to get more time freedom, financial freedom, for you to be able to spend more time with family, practice Islam more, and really, travel, buy the things that you want. But that's not going to come if you keep doing the same things, right? So what I encourage you to do is do istikhara. Like that's what a lot of people do before working with me. And if you feel like this is the right thing, booking a call with me in the description below, there will be a link. So just fill in that form, booking a link. But again, there will be some sort of initial investment for me to know if you're a serious person or not, right? I get so many applications, as you saw, and I will not choose everyone. I need to know whether we connect and whether we are a good fit to work with each other. So yeah, so if you feel like you're ready to jump on a completely free one-to-one consultation where I get to understand you, your situation, what your goals are, to see if I can even help you, and you need to be ready to put in a small amount of work in the first month, right? And be ready to invest some sort of amount initially to show me your commitment. And the rest you do when I make you money and you pay me from that. So 2 options to book a call, the free consultation. There's a link in the description, or you can DM me through Instagram, just saying I'm ready for the free one-to-one consultation. But inshallah, I'm excited to speak to you if you do decide to speak to me, and hopefully I've kind of made my case of why this isn't a scam. If you still think it's a scam, no worries. Inshallah, you can still text me. I'll give you as much free advice as I possibly can.